Alright, man, it looks like it's going to be another B-split push coming up here, standard as could be for the T side.
Yeah, they are getting ready for it right now. They've got 2 people coming out through the middle, 3 people through upper dark at the moment. There's counter-terrorist holding 1 guy inside the B-bomb site, 1 guy down towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, that B-slope man on CT side is going to be the linchpin here. T side, they've managed to put the CT smoke down. No support coming in from the A site here for the defense. It's all going to come down to the entry shots here, the man making the plan.
It's getting kind of cold in here.
Yeah, man, did you leave the window open?
I don't think so. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. You can take the blue, or the red pill, or the green one.
What? There's a green one? Sweet.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Caseking of the Hill, called by Alpenföhn. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to have you here for our second week of this tournament. And we have some great teams, of course. Hellraisers and Epsilon, and then Navi, the Kings from the last week, are going to be facing one of these 2 teams. But first of all, let me welcome, of course, Semler and Vendetta as well. How are you guys doing?
Done swimmingly. Fantastically. Yeah. Everything's A-okay.
All right.
Everything's perfect, mate.
It's good news. We managed to get everything together once again. I'm always a little bit worried, but once it's actually up and running, it's all good. Except for my green screen in the corner here. The sunlight, I just can't keep it out because it's such good weather in Denmark today. And Samuel, you were telling me Sweden is just the same.
It's a sauna in here right now, man. It's pretty intense. Like, I think it's 30 degrees out and full sunny.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I got a chance to roast while I was walking over here. Never again.
It is crazy. It really is. So, guys, look, before we get into the game, we do want to remind you, of course, that we have some more stuff to give away. This week, it's actually a power supply unit from Superflower, which is a really, really cool one. The Facebook link at the bottom of the page is active once again, and you can go and check that out. You can win it. I think it's 1,300 watts, and they actually have won a lot of awards for this particular unit. It's really, really stable. I read some of the reviews as well, and they score pretty highly on every hardware side you can find. So a really stable one, which is important if you have really demanding equipment. And also, and as a sort of added bonus, if you're watching this stream, you can use the code that we have, which is showing... That's the other way. Man, it's so confusing because it's read it that way. At the bottom, you can see the promotional code, the voucher you can use, and if you go and go into caseking.de/RRF, you're going to go to the link where you can actually order a power supply, not the 1,300 one, but 650 watts, which is still a very, very good one. And apparently, it's also super quiet. They did some tests on them, and I think they run at just around 21 dB, which is practically nothing. That's really silent. So really good power supplies. If you need one, then now is a good opportunity to go and get one. So that's it. All you have to do is like the Facebook page, and then you're good to go. And of course, in that context, we want to give a big thanks to our sponsors, Caseking, obviously Alpenföhn as well, Beat Phoenix, and now also Superfly helping us out here. So really good stuff. But guys, are you ready for this game? Hellraisers Epsilon best of 3 game. Maps are gonna be Dust 2, Inferno, and then Mirage, I think, is the final map.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is a rematch. For those of you who didn't follow DreamHack Valencia, this is a rematch from the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Oh yeah, baby.
And for those of you who watched that, I think you saw a pretty special third map from Shoxy in particular. Obviously, Epsilon as a team played really well, but when you go 30-3 versus a team like Hellraisers, you're doing something right.
Can we say that that's one for the history books?
Oh yeah.
That match is basically like Hellraisers are never going to live that down. 16-0 on LAN in the semifinals of a major event.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely say so. It's kind of like Forrest's performance versus Fnatic, and that best of 3 where you racked up something like 64 kills in, I don't know how few rounds, but that similar performance from Shoxy, it was just crazy.
It really was, and that's good news, but it's also kind of bad news in a way, because if what it takes for Epsilon to beat Hellraisers is that Shoxy goes 30-3, that is pretty hard for anyone to rely upon. This isn't even about being inconsistent, it's just that how can you possibly hit a god level like that every game?
There's something to keep in mind here, is that we're facing a new Epsilon lineup.
Team, yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. It's not the same lineup that beat them so badly at DreamHack Valencia. Epsilon have changed out a member since then. This has only been a couple weeks now, but FXJO has been added to the roster to replace Mistu. So Mistu is out, FXJO is in, and the important thing to take note of here is that FXJO is now the main sniper for Epsilon.
Yes, and in that context, I'm so happy we have you, Ben, because FXJO, he came from the Source scene, right?
Yep.
So can you give us some insights on him? What was he like in Counter-Strike Source?
It was never amongst the top teams in Source, but a lot of the current players, I guess, well, not a lot, but quite a few of them weren't at the very top of the French Source scene, but he's always been around. It's kind of like with SF, it's all of those, or GMX for that matter as well, like all of those players have always been around and amongst the like top 5 French teams and doing well at French lands, but obviously the focus was on teams like Rare Games and LDLC. But yeah, he's definitely a very capable player, and if I'm not mistaken, he has been in some pretty legit CSGO teams as well. I think we saw him in a stretch where he played for Imaginary, if I'm not mistaken, a while back. Yeah, where he was showcasing some pretty solid opping on Inferno. And I remember we were really excited about seeing what he was able to do.
The last time we saw him, he was playing on Mirage, and that was an online game, but he looked really, really good. He basically just, I mean, he was top fragging, I think, at the end.
Yeah, and what was scary about that was it was versus ESG, so no slouches. I mean, Delpen, Michaelele, that team is not one to be taken lightly, but also he was top fragging with an AWP. So that's got to be a good feeling for Epsilon. Like, okay, granted, they lost the map. It was like 11-16, I think, the final score. But like, they lost the map, but still, the guy you're bringing in as a full-time opper, your latest addition to the team, just demolishes ESG near single-handedly. That's not too bad.
No, it definitely isn't. And if you think about the composition going on for Epsilon, it is kind of sick. You have Shoxy, who's arguably one of the best riflers in the world, and also one of the best pistol players, in my opinion, in the whole world. And if FXJO can step up, he doesn't even have to become the best AWPer in the world. He just has to do a pretty consistent job of it. Then that in itself, just disregarding everyone else in Epsilon, that in itself is going to be a slightly scary team. If they have good leadership behind it, well, then we'll have to see what happens. They're going to be playing Hellraisers right here. So welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Caseking of the Hill, cooled by Alpenföhn, right here at Room on Fire. So thank you for joining us. Hope you guys appreciate the new subscriber icon we added as well. Finally, we got around to changing that. So thanks to all the subs as well for tuning in. Remember to click the link at the bottom of the page to participate in the Facebook raffle for the Superflyer power supply unit, which is 1300 watts and is a really stable one. So definitely go and do that if you need one of them. And also you can use the promotional code that you can see during the breaks, where you can go and order one off the Caseking site, and you'll get 27% off. It's actually down to 80 pounds or 80 euros. Sorry, so it's looking pretty good. But if you guys had to choose a team to win this here in a best of 3, who's going to come out on top, guys?
I'm gonna go with Hellraisers, even though they lost at DreamHack, simply because one, obviously Epsilon had a lineup change, which I think is gonna affect them. Even though FXJO is probably gonna do like really well this game, because you know I'm expecting Hellraisers to win. But yeah, I don't know. I think their game versus Epsilon was kind of a fluke at DreamHack. We've seen them play so well as of late, so I kind of expect them to get back to that form pretty rapidly.
Yeah, I could back that. Also, like Shoxy's performance, like the basic decider of that series was the map on Dust 2 where Shoxy just went completely crazy, completely mad. And that kind of performance is like a once in a blue moon kind of performance, right? Where everything just goes right for a player, and a player of Shoxy's caliber. Like that's the worst case scenario for Hellraisers. It's like, okay, if GMX or Kyoshima has the game of their life, great. But if Shoxy has the game of his life, you know, in the last map of a best of 3, that's sad times. So I think that it's going to come down to Shoxy's performance, but also FX, Kyoshima, GMX, like all of them have really been stepping up their game. But it's how well they've been able to implement FX into the lineup since the change.
Yeah. There are a lot of really... I think Hellraisers is just a much more known variable than Epsilon are. They really do... I mean, one thing is Shoxy's performance as an individual, and then, as you said, how does FXJO fit into the team? That means you have sort of 2 things that have to click at the same time, and they haven't had that much time to practice. So I think that's a fairly basic and fairly correct analysis of what we could be seeing here. But then again, Hellraisers, I mean, they came home from Valencia, I think, yesterday. So they're basically just back into the house. I think they've been looking for practice during the day to sort of warm up and get ready and everything, but they're not. It's not quite the same as them sitting in a gaming house boot camping for a couple of weeks before they go into a game like this. So there's maybe that to consider as well. But I'd say Hellraisers is a slightly more stable and predictable bet here. But I don't know. I mean, then you look at. Did go mental. Semler, you've been trying to point out to us as well that in the grand scheme of things, you can't really have... I mean, even if he does go 30-3, it's always down to the team supporting him as well and helping him out. So don't want to give it all away just to Shoxy, right?
Yeah, obviously. It's not like he would have gone 30-3 if he didn't have teammates who did their job, or didn't do their job, right? If he was left alone all the time, he could have gotten frags, but he wouldn't have gotten rounds necessarily. So the 16-0 victory for Epsilon is obviously a team thing. It's not Shoxy's win at all.
What we have to wonder right now is whether they've analyzed that map, Epsilon. Have they figured out what allowed Shoxy to go big that on Dust 2? Figured out what went right, what went wrong, and are able to reproduce it here, and see if they're actually able to apply whatever changes they need to be able to give Shoxy the room that he needs to be able to perform at that level. That'd be a really interesting thing to see if Shoxy is able to come out strong again right out the gate here.
It is. I mean, it's really interesting. It seems like when you go 30-3, there are a lot of things that have to work out really, really well. I mean, first of all, you do kind of need a good start, and then maybe the other team also needs to have a slightly bad day or something. I mean, it is not just something you can sort of pull out and do all of a sudden, but. The thing is, even if Shoxy doesn't... I think Shoxy's in a weird position often, I think, which he's not alone at. I think a lot of top players that have singular, really incredible performances is people remember those performances, and next time, if they perform even 20% lower, which is still amongst, the top, absolute, top 5 players in the world, but maybe now they're not number 1, they're just down to number 3 or 4 or something like that, people then say, oh, well, he let the team down, they didn't win it. That's maybe a little bit unfair, right?
Yeah, I think... Actually, probably one of the players who has it that way the most is Shoxy. Yeah. I mean, people call Epsilon Shoxylon. So that So that just kind of tells the story of how good of a player he is and what kind of pressure he has on his shoulders to actually perform each and every game. And it's like you said, he could easily have a game where he gets 23 frags and a bunch of assists and doesn't die all that much. So he plays a really good game, but if Epsilon doesn't win, it's still going to feel like Shoxy didn't carry them hard enough for a lot of people. And that's unfair, but that's kind of that comes with being one of the best players in the world. Unfortunately for him, I guess.
What you're describing sounds a lot like the first player that comes to mind when with what you're describing is like Get right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that kind of pressure times 10, because you're talking about a guy who's won the award for best player 2 years running.
Yeah.
And if Nip don't manage a win, it's like Get Right takes it personally. Like he really takes it hard. So that's an insane amount of pressure. Shoxy definitely kind of in the same spotlight as him.
I think the main difference between Get Right and Shoxy, then, if you want to compare it on that level, is that it's easier, I think, for Get Right to have kind of a day off, and then you can still see Freiburg just going crazy, or Forest is gonna do really well.
Yeah.
Whereas I think for some of the French teams, and I think it was a problem on the other top French team, LDLC, for a while, is that unless Apex just went insane, LDLC really didn't do that much, and that has changed over time, which is a really good sign, and I think the same can happen for Epsilon. I mean, the addition of FXJO, if he's going to be playing as well as he did last time, that's great, but DMX has been solidly stepping up. Kyoshima is definitely not a bad player, and Superfighter is also there, so if they just keep playing together and they all just improve even a tiny bit, then they might not even need Shoxy to drop 30 kills in a game. They can just rely on him to be, doing average, and it'll still be a really strong team.
Yeah, that's the big difference, is that Get Right definitely has those teammates to rely on. And hell, that's been for the past 6 months or so. Get Right's been extremely frustrated with his performance, not feeling like he was up to snuff, but he's got Forest, he's got Freiburg, he's got Exist to fill that gap, right?
You know what else he has?
Epsilon, do they have that? Do they have SF, Kyoshima? Like, these guys need to really be able to step up to the plate.
Get Right also has a new theme song on YouTube, if you guys didn't catch it.
Yeah, I saw the tweet.
So that must make him, if they made a song about him, then that has to mean something, right? It's the comeback song.
Obviously. If people dedicate an anthem to you, then you're doing something right.
Exactly. All right.
We should have that. Like, every star player of a team should have an anthem. That would be so cool. Just imagine for Gamescom, like, whenever a player walks out, it's like a personal anthem just ringing in the...
I would
really
like
that.
This
should be like a team anthem too, but it's like we got to choose like what kind of genre, I guess, would the anthems be for each team.
I guess, well, since NIP are the #1 team, right, in the world, they would have to have the A-team theme song.
Well, do they have the A-team, or do like...
Well,
I wish there was some, like, Norwegian.
Right?
I wish there was some Norwegian teams, like top tier teams, so we could have like some Norwegian black metal or something like that. That's their
like Dimmy Borgir or something like that.
That's their theme song walking out. It's all of a sudden it's like they're walking in with goats' heads on spikes or something.
Since Hellraisers is a CIS team, do you remember? I bet. Well, I'm very old. So the Hunt for Red October. There's some really good Russian anthem singing going on, and actually, I really love that style of music. Like if. It's worth watching that movie just to listen to the Russian. I don't even know if it is Russian. It could be something else, but it sounds like, to my ears, it sounds like something that could be from that region, and it's actually really cool. So if they had that, it would be incredible.
Am I the only one who thinks the Russian anthem, like national anthem, is super badass?
It is super badass. Yep, you're absolutely right. I have it on my iPod.
Russian team, I guess. Yeah, it might work better for a completely Russian team, obviously, than a CIS team. But still, it's pretty badass, right?
USSR, it's your time to shine.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It does sound pretty cool. All right, guys. Noticing a lot of people are subscribing in the chat, so thank you very much. I'm so sorry I can't actually read out all your names, but obviously we can't really do that in the middle of the game. That'd be weird. We are missing 2 people, and actually 3 people. Mod is one of them here. Our wonderful admin from Fragbite, who does a terrific job all the time. Something else that I want to point out and just remind you guys of is that we have a YouTube that's up and running, and if you're watching this from YouTube as a VOD, then thank you very much. Remember to subscribe, and you guys can go and check that out as well. That's youtube.com/Room on Fire Studios, which I guess is a little bit of a pretentious name, saying we don't really have a studio yet. But gotta think ahead, right?
Think big.
Exactly.
Long term.
That's what I thought. So go and check that out, guys. We try and upload all the VODs, not just of the Caseking here, but everything else that we do as well. But we're waiting for it to go live. Let's try. Angel says ready, and I think Epsilon are about ready too. So welcome to the show once again. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you're going to have a great evening. Remember, we have this one, which is a best-of-3 game, but we also have another game after which is Navi. Right now, they're waiting in what we can consider the winners' final. They're the Kings from last week, and they're going to be facing one of these 2 teams. Let's get it on.
It's time. I think what we're going into right now is the knife round, so we're going to get to see who gets to start on which side, the offense terrorist side or the defense, the counter-terrorist side. But on this map in particular, Dust 2, it doesn't really seem like teams are too bothered by which side they actually start on. Vent, do you think that it's going to make a big difference, you know, whoever starts on which side here?
I don't really think it matters all that much. But then again, Dust 2 is one of the bigger momentum maps, I guess, we have in the map pool. So obviously if one team gets off to a really good start and maybe goes 5-0, that could potentially be breaking for the other team, but I don't think it should mean all that much.
No, I think this is what we've seen time and again, is that that pistol round is so important, you know. And if you start on the CT side and you see at Hellraisers, they actually won the knife round and they decide to go on the CT side in spite of the fact that, statistically speaking, it is a terrorist-sided map, but not by much. So I think this is, I mean, this is what a lot of teams have said when we asked them in the past, that if you start on the CT side and you make a few mistakes, you know, you don't need that many rounds to actually come back into it. If you get 5 or 6 rounds on the CT side, you can still win the game. And if you then win the pistol round, well, then you're just off to a great start no matter what. So here we go. They're going to be starting on that side. And Markelov taking a bit of a fight down the middle. Maybe a little bit scary, but he has the USPS, and it is better than a Glock in this range. Angel will start off with the opening kill.
Yeah, nicely done there by Hellraisers, really playing it out. They go for a 2-1-2 setup, pretty vanilla at the beginning here. So really just trying to cover as much of the map as possible and prevent any kind of like early crazy rushes from Epsilon, say onto B site or out A long. So Angel getting the first frag, that's already going to slow Epsilon down somewhat here. We just have to see how Hellraisers decide to build on this, because for now they have no information as to what's happening mid. They have 3 guys over on A and 2 guys holding solid on B.
Yeah, it's a really good setup. Adrian, oh no, he looks away just at the wrong time, and SF will take down Kucher, and this is a big problem here. Adrian is in a lot of trouble. He's actually going to have to maybe just leave the bomb site to make sure he doesn't go down, because they need to be able to retake this. Smart setup in the middle. FXJO trying to see if he can catch anyone rotating in, and they will. SF is the one to pick up 2 kills, and now Markelov goes down, and somehow this round just swapped completely in favor of Epsilon. It's just Doja left.
SF.
Yeah, SF. That's the big thing. And Doja as well, not being able to kill FXJO there as he came around from long. Because it started off really well for Hellraisers, obviously. I think GMX got a tiny bit too eager, because he peeked way too deep at long there. So he got picked off early, but yeah.
Sorry, Doja, he's trying to knife someone in the middle. He says, alright, if I'm going to lose the round, I can at least get 1,500, which is actually not even a bad idea. He's waiting right at the edge. He's going to go! Oh my god! Oh my god, it's so close. He brought Kyoshima down to 9 HP.
Only Doja is like the mastermind of just lurking at this point. He goes for the knife whenever he can.
That is actually a very, very smart idea, because why not try and go for it? If he had got 1,500, Betty would have bought a scout or something and given it to somebody else. That was actually a very good idea, but just not quite good enough. I'm not sure, did he hit him or not? I didn't even, or was he already on 9? Because if he was already on 9, it's even more painful.
I think he tagged Kyoshima. I think FXJO was the one who... FXJO and SF who were the ones who were really low HP. But I could be wrong.
Well, SF got some battle scars that round after killing 3 guys, basically. Getting the B site was all SF there. That was sick play from him. Killing the man at window and then getting 2 at mid doors. That was brilliant.
Yeah, did he get the guy in window while he was jumping?
Burst fire, bro. Burst fire. It's happened. We had a Glock burst fire kill.
It's unlikely. Kucher in the middle. Not going to get anything done. They did have the 1 kill that Adrian got, and another one coming in from Angel. So very good work here from Hellraisers. Exactly what they need. Just to pick up some, well, even pick up a rifle, but even just the kills here make a big difference. And 2 kills in a round like this, I don't know, Ven. What do you? I'd call that a success.
Yeah, well, it's definitely something you can be okay with as the CT side, or T side, if, for that matter, if you're the one ecoing. But yeah, completely fine with this. If he's able to keep the Galil as well, then that's, you know, all the better. Because he potentially dropped that off for a teammate, and it could come in big, I guess, the next round. We've seen it happen before, so. But yeah, this is definitely an okay eco round for Hellraisers. And he could potentially pick up more, I guess, because it looks like Epsilon are actually searching for him.
Yeah, they're actively hunting for him right now. Epsilon, they're about to win the round right now. It's still obviously very early in the half, so they don't have any real trouble looking. But they're gonna stop. They're gonna hunker down in CT spawn, and that's gonna be it. So Angel is gonna be the one with that gun in the end. What does he do with it? Does he hold on to it? Does he get handed off?
He bought body armor and a smoke, so he actually invested into this round, which he could. He can still buy the next round, so this is just very, very smart play. I love this idea of just, you know, playing the economy to see if you can maximize your profits. This could work out.
This is Angel with like 2 frags, and he also had like $500 more or less than all of his teammates at the end of that pistol, or at the end of the second round. So it kind of makes sense. You know, he can afford to give up a little bit. I was curious if he was going to be trying to hold on to the money for an AWP in the next round, but I guess not.
Unfortunately, his timing is just, 1 second off, I think. If he had been peeking a little bit earlier, a little bit later, that might have worked out. Now, instead, they do lose the bomb sight and the rifle and the armor as well. But it's not the end of the world. Again, this was a calculated risk, and it's not even that big of a risk here to invest in that armor. So, unfortunately, they don't really do much this round. It's just Markelov left with a C-set 75, trying to see if he can hunt down anyone, and maybe he can find GMX here in the T-spawn.
He seems convinced. He's gonna get within lethal range here. There you go. There's the shots, and he gets the kill. GMX already tagged up low as well. I mean, we can see that he got tagged by Angel to begin with. Angel or Adrian, somebody with an A. But still, Markelov recovers the loss. Like, he recovers the Galil. Great.
Yeah, going to be walking right in and doesn't get to keep it. But some damage has been dealt out here. I mean, Hellraisers have some kill on the boards. Kutra and Dosha still to get up there, but no doubt they will soon enough. And you can see actually Shoxy's on 0 kills on the other end. But it's still early days here on Dust 2, only the first half, and Markelov will actually pick up an AWP, so will FXJO, the latest addition here to the Epsilon squad.
This is it. Markelov with the AWP as well. I was really curious if he was going to be the man going for it right off the start. But Shoxy gets really close to the mid doors already. He's hoping to be able to catch somebody through the smoke if they make any noise, checking the likely boost spots, etc. But not really going to find anything. For now, Epsilon, really patient round coming from them. They've gone for like map control basically. They've just spread out across the map, hoping to get information as to how Hellraisers have set up.
Oh, what a great return, and Kyoshima with a double. Markelov actually instantly picked off somebody, and Kyoshima just comes back with 2 sick headshots. Now, down on long, Dozier is going to be fighting, but GMX is coming up from pit and will take him down, and now it's a 2-on-2. Really important for Hellraisers not to give up this round, and Adrian and Kucha, definitely 2 players that are nice having in a clutch like this.
This is a very good situation right now. If they can just manage to play the angles right, they are trying to take over long, but the problem is that GMX is still waiting out here in pit, keeping an eye on long house. That's going to be Kucher who's going to walk into him in just a moment's time. Kucher checking. He's thorough. He finds GMX looking for the shot. He's going to get it. It's into the one-on-one now.
Yeah, and FXJO actually missing that shot. Should have been a pretty easy one. Kucher does go down. That was a very quick second shot. All right, then. I was going to say maybe some nerves playing in. I think last time, and actually this is worth pointing out, when we saw FXJO on Mirage, he didn't end up in a lot of, one-on-one situations where it was all on him. He was just very good at getting the opening kills, which is not to try and steal anything away from him. That's super important, but you never know if a player is going to crumple once it gets, really a lot of pressure on him. But seemed like so far that was a pretty good one-on-one there. And now looks like they're going to be going for the B-bomb site. Adrian actually goes down immediately. They did have a bit of a stack going on. Markelov right at the corner. C-set 75 in hand. Going to take the first one. Goes for a second kill. Hasn't reloaded yet. And actually he's just going to go down. So now a 1-on-4 for Angel here.
It's going to be, well, I mean, you still have 2 guys alive on this side. They have nades. They have everything they need here. Epsilon, they're in no real danger. They are still kind of spread out around the map. And Angel, he almost gets lucky and catches the man out on short. It's going to be GMX just peeking. And Duck Goose, he gets the kill. So, 5 rounds now for Epsilon. 5 rounds. And we get to see exactly what Hellraisers have in mind. And that is going to be the double op play. Okay, then. So, Markelov and Kucher going to be going for the sniper rifles here. This is how Hellraisers are looking to change up their CT game.
Yeah. Are you a fan, Van? Do you think it's a good idea?
I actually like that with the way they're playing such a basic setup, especially with the fact that they're not actively holding mid most of the rounds. So I'm okay with them actually having Kucher with the op towards B.
Dozier with a nice pick-off, and that should have probably been a kill for Angel, but he gets flashed just at the wrong time. Markelov misses a shot. Got to be a little bit careful here, and he actually goes down. GMX on the hunt, and Epsilon getting away with quite a lot here. I think they should have pretty lost another player by now. Dozier is looking to see if he can be the man to make that happen, but Super Fighter is there, and right now Hellraisers are actually just running in one at a time, and that is a bit of a problem. Grenade could have almost killed GMX, and the next one won't either, and Adrian goes down. What on earth was going on?
GMX is immortal.
GMX survive? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Yeah, GMX is immortal. I don't know. He rests in the palms of Gaben right now.
Samurai, are you wearing that hat?
No, I'm not actually wearing the hat.
Wow. Okay. Well, then that's not
the power of
Gaben
is more. I guess is greater than the power of the hat right now because the hat isn't on. So maybe I need to go get the hat and we can try and. But that's not going to help Hellraisers, man. Are you really like that against Hellraisers? All the Hellraisers fans right now just cried out in one voice. Anders, no.
I was wondering if that was the explanation. I was wondering if that's why he was able to survive that long because that was crazy. I think the first grenade, I don't know, that looked like it landed right next to him, and that was from a teammate as well. But that's 6 rounds in a row here for Epsilon. Just to remind everyone, if you didn't watch the DreamHack Valencia semifinals, Epsilon 16-0'd Hellraisers on this map, and we talked about it as the introduction to this map, and we were wondering, because Shoxy did go 30-3 on that map, 30 kills and 3 deaths, so we were sort of wondering if that was the main reason, but Epsilon really seemed to have a good grasp of playing this map right now.
This is a big opportunity here. Already 2 kills clearing up B-side. There's Markelov. Double spray for him. And that's exactly what he needed to do to slow down Epsilon here. They're getting way too comfortable. Markelov with a big play. Takes out 2. And definitely puts a halt to this plant for now.
Yeah, he's sort of weirdly walking around in the doorway. Actually going to be falling back. I think he wanted to try and see if he could push in really aggressively. Shoxy takes a kill. Docious, the only one with any health here, is going to be pushing in. Gets one. Gets flashed as well and then goes down. And what can Markelov do at this point? He's looking for the kill. He's actually going to pick it up now. Charges in, and it's FXJO, the last survivor here. Picks up the kill easily with the AWP, and it will be 7-0. And now Hellraisers have a tough choice to make here. I mean, if they keep buying, it's going to be FAMASA's all around. And in fact, that pistol buy sort of suggests they're going to save once again.
Yeah, but I mean, luckily for them, they are on the CT side. That getting shot through smoke, not so lucky, I guess, but...
And look at Epsilon, though. This is the thing. Well, we'll talk about it in a second. I mean, this should be a pretty brutal just B take right now because they're up against pistols. Angel still manages to pick up one with the CZ, so that's nice there for Hellraisers. But Epsilon, that's 2 rounds in a row now that they've gone off of a pick that FX gave them. Like, FX tagged, I think it was Adrian, through the door the last round, and this round he gets a pick early on. So, two times now, Epsilon are just going off of their Opera's plays.
Yeah, and also, in addition to that, Epsilon have been heavily favoring the B site versus Ecos. So that's also something to take into account.
Which is like kind of counterintuitive, right? You know, you're going B, that's like close quarters combat. You know, CZ-75, they're going to be right up in your face. But if you go A, you got long, maybe same sort of situation? I don't know, Ben, what do you think? What do you think about going on that?
I'm a big fan of taking control over mid and then potentially going towards long or doing something towards A because, as you said, you have the range favoring you if you've bought up. But Epsilon are so fast and so committed to their B pushes when they actually go versus the Ecos there, and also they have FXJO doing that.
Again!
Are you absolutely joking? That is really frightening. That's a horrible way to start off a round where, as you guys have been sort of talking about now, Hellraisers, it's time here. 8-0. Shoxy, is he going to see the boost? They're right there. Flashes in. Shoxy spots it, and a double spray down. Hellraisers, I mean, it looked like they were actually just offering themselves to Shoxy, which obviously wasn't going to be the plan. Kucha finally with a good pick-off, and are they going to go on him? They really don't have to. This is a strong position with an AWP, but Epsilon are feeling it. And they're still waiting around outside. Docious over on short, and this is a 2-on-4 for Hellraisers.
Look at GMX.
GMX, yeah.
Yeah, GMX. This is so cool from him. The wraparound on A. He's looking to flank out the man who's working his way over there, Doja, who just barely makes it on the cat in time to stay alive, basically, to avoid the flank.
Yeah, Kiyoshima spotted him. Now he's going to be running back, and Doja realized he's boxed in. Going to take the peak down to just 2 HP, and it's only a question of time now before he's gone. Kucha also dies in the middle to Kiyoshima, and we're double for Kiyoshima before the round is over. 9-0. Just what the hell is going on?
I feel like we need to jinx Epsilon at some point so we don't see another 16-0. Like, at some point we have to do it. This cannot be good for Hellraiser's confidence going into the second map.
Well, I'm going to be watching FXJO just to see if he's going to do this ridiculous. He actually hits the shot. How is he so fast? Almost going to hit the second shot. Doesn't get it this time. They're down in lower dark, but I think they've been discovered. No, Kucha actually gets the kill. SF jumps down, and it's only going to be the one that he gets. So this is finally a reasonable start coming out here, especially with that kill for Markelov. Now things are looking a little bit better. Doja peeking out on long, easy headshot on GMX. The rifle control that we definitely expect from a Doja, from a player of Doja's caliber. And now it's just Kiyoshima left in a 1-on-4, and he is going to be found as well. Kucha will drop him. Triple for Kucha, and finally, it's not 16-0. There we go.
Easy jinx, easy life.
Yeah! They've taken 1 round.
Oh,
what was that, 25 rounds in a row for Epsilon? And Hellraisers have finally broken it.
Yeah.
I can see Markelov, yeah. He's pretty happy about it.
It's so good, isn't it? Let's see if FXJO is going to do it again. Smoke is up. He waits a little bit. Almost takes the shot. Now they're rushing down lower again. That worked last time, so I don't really blame them for it. And Markelov up on short will take down Super Fighter. So that's it. Hellraisers, aggression down the middle. And Epsilon haven't really adjusted to it yet.
Yeah, Markelov showing that he can be blindingly fast as well. Like FX is not the only speed demon on this map. Markelov with 2 very clean picks off a short, and he's going to be the one locking down long here as well. He should be looking towards it to support Doja, who's waiting at cars, but it looks like Epsilon, they're bringing the bomb over here. They haven't quite made their mind up yet. GMX has snuck out on long, but Kucher is here to support Doja now, so the defense is set up for Hellraisers.
And they know a lot about what's happening because Angel was covering all of Lower Dark, so they definitely know what's going on. Markelov with a great pick off, and FXJO not fast enough this time to deal with Markelov. So that is another great start here. 5-on-3, and it's about time that they string some rounds together.
It's about time, but maybe this is their shot. We've seen it several times the last few weeks, especially I think it was Hellraisers versus it was Navi versus Titan, wasn't it? Where we saw the first team take 8 rounds, then Titan coming back with 8 rounds, and
it's definitely still possible, especially Angel in this corner here. They're not checking it, so they're going to get spotted, and Angel peeks out. Should realize there's someone by car as well, but maybe a little bit too late now. Shoxy's going to be looking for him, and this is a little bit scary. Angel has to get the kill, and he won't. Shoxy with a great pick off, and now it's actually down to a 2-on-2. Still, they can win this, but they got to make sure that they don't throw this away.
But they're up so close, they might just try and push through the window very quickly here. Shoxy has the right idea, he covers it, Doja's down, but now into a one-on-one. Kucher versus GMX, Kucher goes running in and gets the spray. This is enough time for Hellraisers, but that was a very costly round for Hellraisers. A follow-up win. They needed to survive with more there, I think. Now they're going to be under pressure from the money.
No, this is the 3rd round in a row. No, second round in a row.
Second round in a row.
Yeah, but they had lost so many rounds previously in a row that they'd already kind of built up a bank. And the one round they actually got, the first round they got, they actually survived with quite a few people.
4, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so they're,
I'm looking at this round
that bad
now.
off.
I'm looking at this round where I'm just like, okay, now they have to spend everything. And Markelov takes out Shoxy this time. Did Shoxy have an AWP there?
No, he didn't, but
Okay.
they were boosted up in the middle. Kucher just helping Markelov out there, so really good teamwork, and Hellraisers showing that once they get the opening, they definitely are ready to capitalize on it, but GMX will take down Angel over on long, who was pushing aggressively, which I think is maybe a little bit disappointing, because they actually had a man advantage, so I'm not sure they should have been throwing that away, though Kucher do what he can to try and pick it up again, but they're still back to a 3-on-3.
Yeah, this favors Epsilon at this point. Epsilon have the choice as to where they want to go. There isn't too much information for Hellraisers. We can see them convening back on mid. Actually, Doja working his way down through CT spawn to cover those mid doors, and there's still a man Adrian on the B side proper, but for a second there, Hellraisers were like, are they pushing through mid? Are they all here? We have to get here to defend this. And well, now it's kind of settled out. 45 seconds left on this clock for Epsilon to make a call as to where they want to go, and I feel like GMX is kind of like the linchpin for them here.
I like the rotation Hellraisers have made, though. Well, actually, now I'm starting to dislike it with Doja running up. Yeah,
it's Adrian that has to step it up here, because you're absolutely right. They did fall for that bait over at the A-bomb site. Adrian in the back now. He's going to make the call. Now he can hear them, so definitely knows that they're coming. Adrian takes down SF and sees the bomb as well. Just has to wait. Only 20 seconds here, but he will take down FXJO as well. And now GMX really can't win this round anymore. Only 15 seconds. He's going to go for the kill, and Doja will take him down. So huge credit to Adrian for getting those 2 kills. That was huge.
Yeah, it worked out in the end due to Adrian's 2 kills there. But I was a bit afraid for Hellraisers when we saw Doja actually running off from a pretty safe position in B slope. And I think it's perfectly fine for Hellraisers to leave the A site open there and actually let Epsilon have the plant, because retaking A site is much easier than retaking B. So, yeah, could have gone badly for Hellraisers, but...
Okay, now look at this. I mean, we're talking about how much FXJO is going to matter as an AWPer on this map. I think we've just seen a huge vote of confidence from Epsilon. They say, all right, we lost the round. We're going to give you an AWP and an armor and make you open up the round and win it for us. That is... It's not the first time we've seen this sort of play, but it is not a common play.
Okay, well, there's 2 defense here for Hellraisers on long. GMX picks off Angel to start, but there's Adrian. Controlled spray from him. He runs out of bullets, though. They have to put the pressure, and they get him down in the end. Man advantage now for Epsilon, and they're able to pick up some guns to boot.
And especially important is the fact that Shoxy actually has body armor, so he has an M4A1. FXJO can just snipe from the pit down here, and Markelov and Kucher can still definitely win this round, but they really don't want to throw it away to just the 1-AWP buy here. That would be painful, having lost the first 9 rounds in a row.
The big issue for Epsilon right now is the fact that they don't have smokes. They have 2 flashes and a Molotov, which is, I guess, better than no nades, but it's still going to be really hard for them to actually cross over towards that A bomb site with Kucher so close.
Not only Kucher so close, but Markelov waiting in mid. Now he's back up to B, though, so that op support isn't there for Kucher anymore. But there's the flash onto Kucher. He point-blank Shoxy, but he's eventually taken out by SF. And now Markelov has to rotate very quickly, but he's not going to get there in time to stop the bomb from getting across.
No, and now this 1-on-2. Oh, FXJO manning up! He jumps down and picks up the kill. Markelov is dead. What an incredibly manly jump. That's... I mean, it worked this time, but generally speaking, I would advise against that kind of insanity.
Yeah. If he dies there and Markelov ends up clutching the round, you know who's going to get the blame. Rightfully so as well.
You gotta be kidding me.
You have to wonder if he would have done that if this was at DreamHack Valencia. Like, if this had been at a LAN.
I want to believe that he
had
would.
The balls? Yeah. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, what did Freiburg start when he made that jump at DreamHack Summer? You know, that worked out really well. So maybe that he's just thinking, you know...
Yeah, he's in that zone.
Yeah.
The flow.
Yeah.
If Freiburg can do it, then so can I. It's a dangerous mentality to adapt because not many people are Freiburg, but that was a really, really nice one. Markelov comes up, sneaks just at the right time, and Shoxy's very low on health, but Markelov's not going to actually try and push the issue, which could be a good idea. You can't really know how many people are there. We obviously know it's just Shoxy and that he's almost dead, but if Markelov kept pushing and dies, that's a big problem. Now he's going to go in the middle and does take a kill before he goes down. But, actually, this is working out great right now. Back into a 2-on-2, which I think is more than Hellraisers could have asked for, considering their equipment. But the bomb is going to go down, and it's the 14th round. Should they retake this?
They don't have any kits, but I think they're going to be in a pretty wonky situation the last round regardless, seeing how they bought up this round. So I think they might as well go for it, especially with Adrian picking off FXJO there.
That kill was so big now. It's SF in a 1v2, and he's going to get flanked by Doja. Doja not wasting any time. The key part there for Hellraisers was, yeah, okay, sure, they lost the man holding B site near instantly, but there were two guys waiting in CT spawn, and they didn't waste any time to push through that smoke and go for the flank on Epsilon. Epsilon clearly expected one guy to go for it, which is why they all turned around after killing the first guy through the smoke, and that opened it up for them to get shot in the back, basically, by the second guy coming through the smoke for Hellraisers.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that when they retook that bomb site in that 2-on-1, that they actually just pushed through the Molotov and didn't let him zone out the map or zone out the bomb site and only focus on window. So that was maybe some basic stuff, but it was smart play either way from Hellraisers. Double grenade, and GMX actually takes much less damage than they could have hoped for, so that's a bit unfortunate. Now Molotov to follow it up here. GMX is going to be far enough back to just walk away from it, so a little bit unfortunate, but Kucher down the middle is doing good work, taking down Shoxy again, who hasn't had any big impact here. I mean, he's got 10 kills, so he's not, you know, underperforming, and but still not the 30 kills that we saw at DreamHack Valencia.
I think that's going to be, like I said, that's kind of like a performance of a lifetime sort of situation, really, on LAN as well. Like, yeah. that doesn't 30-3, that doesn't happen every day. Like, that really just doesn't. So, right now for Hellraisers, for Epsilon, you know, they have to hope to be able to find a pick, but I like that Hellraisers, they're playing very, very patiently. They aren't giving anything away by playing the positions that they are. They aren't going out and looking for kills, and most importantly, they aren't leaving sites. They're keeping guys fixed on those sites. They're just waiting. They're like challenging Epsilon to come at them.
So GMX gets killed by Q.
Oh man, what is going on short?
I have no idea. If FXJO's down to 1 HP, things really are looking a little bit Streamer out on short. It's going to go down quickly. SF has a good position in the middle, but he's not going to be able to get the pick off, and that's going to be it. 5-10 for the first half. I mean, considering it was 9 straight rounds from Epsilon, this is a very successful first half for Hellraisers. I think they're going to be actually pretty excited about the way this turned out.
Yeah, it could have gone a lot worse, especially if they were down, what, 9-0?
Yeah,
9-0
there.
Yeah, so that could have ended really ugly for them. So I think they'd be elated with 5 rounds. And it really looked like Kyoshima that last round really wanted Hellraisers to get 5 rounds as well.
That's what I was about to say. I was thinking he wanted to give them a chance because he just killed a teammate and then threw a nade at another teammate. So he was just like, we got to give him a hand here. You know, we can't do it to them again. Like, we can't finish this 11-4. It has to be 10-5.
A little bit of mercy, maybe. Well, it's going to be Hellraisers now on the terrorist side, and it's Epsilon on the CT side, so welcome to the show if you're just joining us. Right on time to watch this B push coming in. Kyoshima trying to defend and actually not taking that much damage. Shoxy in the back goes down after the 1 kill, and Kyoshima's got to stay alive here and wait for some backup. He's still got 80 health, and they have plenty of time to retake this bomb side. The bomb is only just going down now, and FXJO not wasting any time. He's just rushing in here, and that is crazy. He's going to go down as well. Adrian, still alive, gets a good kill in, and Kyoshima might win this battle. He will, in fact, but still 2 more members left for him here. Epsilon with a little bit of an uncoordinated retake, I say.
It's kind of giving me flashbacks from that op round from FXJO where he jumped, instead of crossing over for long, he just jumped to take the challenge from Markelov. And it worked out that time. This time it did not work out, and I think that actually played a pretty pivotal role in how everything turned out.
Well, do you think he was trying to? Do you think he was really just going in there expecting Kyoshima to
I think he wanted
either
to deny?
He wanted to deny the plant, and also I think set up for Kyoshima, who was waiting so close to doors, to take a peek or something like that, draw the attention. Maybe.
Yeah.
Vendetta. They have 2 people without anything here. I mean, you've been speaking against having just 1, and Shoxy has a scout. You gotta be joking. He gets the first kill. He's looking for 1 more, and this is worrying right now, because if you had 5 people with AKs, it sounded different. Now they only have 3, and FXJO is going to pick up 1 in the middle. Hellraisers have made themselves very vulnerable here.
They can't pick up the rifles, though. That's the problem here for Epsilon. They can't pick up those guns.
Well, they have a deagle in here. Hiroshima's looking for the 1 peak. He's in the back, really trying hard, but it's just not connecting at all. In the doorway here, SF's going to go down as well, but it's still down to a 2-on-2, and GMX has a very cool position. As long as he's just not making too much noise, and they're both coming in from up. I'm not sure. Oh, they're going to swap.
No, it's not I mean, the thing is that the smoke goes down from Hellraisers. Then again, the bomb has just been planted, so by the time that smoke clears, there's still going to be time left on this bomb to get in here, get the kills, and defuse, but it's still cutting it close here for Epsilon.
It definitely is. GMX going to have to open up the bomb side. If he can kill Markelov in the corner, then that is definitely all they need. He's kind of low, Markelov. Kucha's kind of low as well, but I think Epsilon are running out of time here. There's the 1 kill. Markelov hiding, and Shoxy's going to be right around the corner, but he's not going to go for it. He realizes there's no time left, just wants to kill Markelov on the exit. Markelov with a triple, runs out, and will go down to Shoxy. So this is a great round from Epsilon. 4 kills and stealing an AK is definitely worth it, but almost looked like they could have won the round instead.
Yeah, actually, if Shoxy mans up a tiny bit, I think that's Epsilon's round. Because Agreed. It definitely seemed like 50% of the remaining Epsilon players in that situation wanted to win the round. And Shoxy was not early with it. And I think if Shoxy pressures, I think it was Angel was in the corner there by the B exit.
Was it Angel or Markelov? I think it was Markelov.
I might have been.
Regardless, you know, that's that sort of situation. I could have swore that once Shoxy started to push through, that was when, or at least when GMX gets the kill on the man holding site.
Exactly.
Like that's when Shoxy pushes in from tunnels and they just flank Markelov. One of them gets the kill, regardless, and then maybe you take a crack at getting that defuse.
This time it's a really good opening over towards the long and the A bomb site, and they actually just pick off everyone. Shoxy with the AK, the only one surviving, and if they're smart, and they definitely are, they might just go and hunt for him here. They got 5 members alive, and they even saw him in the middle, so they know roughly where he is, and stealing an AK away from Shoxy now could be really important. But this is a big turnaround from Hellraisers. We're going to be looking at 10-8, which is pretty good news considering it was at one point in this game 9-0.
Yeah, well, that's Hellraisers getting on that T side. Angel with a good spray down to take Shoxy out at the end. Still, Shoxy gets a parting shot, takes Kucher out, so, you know, he's not going to be too displeased with that sort of situation, I think. The thing is that this is now the big round for Epsilon. 19th round, their first opportunity to get rifles, and FX has the AWP. So we saw what kind of havoc he was wreaking in the first half. Now, can FX do it again?
Yeah, that's the big question here, and Hellraisers are taking it very slowly. They also don't have an AWP on their side. Not really a big deal. I mean, we've seen Hellraisers be hugely successful in the past just using rifles, and they're not the only team to do that. NIP's shown that it's possible as well to play, you know, a lot of games without having anyone with that sniper rifle, but if FXJO is on point, it might still be an issue. Right now, they're moving up short, it feels like, and might actually it could go either way right now. They could end up with a B push here as well.
I wouldn't be too surprised if you saw a B split. That's something Hellraisers really like to do, and it seems like Epsilon are fully aware of that because they've got 3 people watching towards mid right now.
Just around the corner as well. There's the flash out for the men. That's going to be Angel taking point, but they decide to back off. And Hellraisers, you know, they put 1 flash through, they scope out the defense, and now it seems once again they're slowing things down. They're really floating around mid. Keeping a guy back to hold on to long just in case one man decided to push out from there. That's GMX, or SF rather, who's holding pit. But it is going to be the B push after all.
Smoke is up. They're running out here. Kiyoshima has a huge role. He's got to stay alive or at least get a couple of kills. There's the one, but he goes down immediately. Coming through smoke in the middle is going to be another guy going down. Shoxy alone inside the bomb site, running out of bullets and out of HP as well. And FXJO not taking that shot. Couldn't actually see through, I think. So 2-on-3 here, and I'm not sure this retake is going to be very successful. SF running in, but I would wait to see if they can make it 2-on-2. If they can make it 2-on-2, they should go for it. But otherwise, running in 2-on-3 is suicide, and they are not even going to try. So a bit of a shame, and we see how much timing really matters that round. Because I think you're right, Vendetta. They had such great setup to deal with that kind of push, but it happened about 15 seconds later than they thought.
Yeah, definitely caught them off guard. And the fact that I think it was Kiyoshima who came through the smoke from CT spawn.
Yeah.
And he needed to pick up at least one more. I think that would have made it. Yeah, so I think that was probably the biggest issue for Epsilon, but because their setup was perfectly fine to actually counter what Hellraisers tried to do.
I thought that with that flash that went off on B slope that Shoxy threw, that was Kiyoshima's go time. Right?
Yeah,
exactly. His big opportunity to get in there and just catch Hellraisers in the back. He got one, but Hellraisers were quick enough to shut him down before he can get a second one. If he gets that second kill, all of a sudden Shoxy may be able to just pick off that one guy who manages to make it through the doors.
Oh god, FXJO really is fast. That was such a sick flick. I mean, Angel is still alive on 15 HP, but he jumped over the box to see that he was there and then just went for it anyway. If he would have got that kill, that would have been a pretty cool highlight frag right there. But as it goes, Hellraisers are still 5 men alive. And we'll see if they can actually make it back and equalize the score here. Epsilon have got to be worried because they're down to FAMASes and just 1 M4, 1 AWP. If they lose this round, then Hellraisers not only equalize, but they will probably take the round lead as well.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, if Epsilon were to lose this, they're more likely than not going to be on pistols. And that's going to give Hellraisers a whole lot of room to work with here. Hellraisers still kind of grouping up in Upper Dark this time around, and it's going to be Kiyoshima. Gets flashed in. Golden opportunity! And he doesn't get it. He only gets one.
Oh man, you're absolutely right. That was a golden opportunity now. It's Shoxy alone inside the bomb site. Angel still very low. Shoxy has the good timing. Going to take down one and gets the double really quickly. And this is working out fantastically for Shox. 3 kills just like that. Has the bomb as well. So Markolov is going to be alone. So Kiyoshima only getting the 1 kill. It turned out not to be the end of the world.
He got a ton of information for his team, as well as he... Sure, he got 1 kill, but he also put down some damage, some significant damage, actually, to a few of the Hellraisers members. And it kind of just... I think Hellraisers were expecting the B site to be open, seeing how he pushed in.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, in Hellraiser's mind, that was Epsilon's go-to move for clearing out the B bomb site and rotating towards A.
I can't actually remember the last time I've seen so many people get flashed. I think that might be one of the few moments where having a negative might have been a good idea. But, obviously, that's not how it
scenario.
Works. Yeah, that one scenario. Now, a lot of aggression coming out here from the CIS team. They're going to be pushing out long and short at the same time. And FXJO can't actually find the time to get a kill, though. SF will pick it up, and that's the bomb down. First guy in has the bomb is never a good idea, but it might be working out anyway. SF under a lot of pressure here. Going to get the 1 kill in, but still a 2-on-2 and the health advantage in favor of the terrorist side. A great headshot will bring it into a 1-on-1. Shox versus Angel.
What a shot from SF on that second one as well. Sure, he saw it coming, but to be able to react in time to pick him off, really nicely done. And now it's down to Angel facing off against Shoxy. Shoxy takes the peek. Peekaboo, Shoxy! He's getting shot to the face. He's still here. This is the longest battle so far, and Angel comes out on top. For a second, I thought Shoxy would find it.
I mean, there's a lot of questions to be answered here. I mean, why didn't he hit him at all? He didn't hit Angel at all, but why did he stay alive that long?
Apparently there was a body on the floor, yeah. And neither of them could see anything.
Yeah, that's actually something that needs to be, like, in CSS you can remove ragdolls. But also there wasn't inconsistencies between ragdolls, which there is in CSGO. So a body can show up on one person's screen and not be there for someone else, depending on whether or not you saw the kill. And that's a pretty big issue, and that's especially on a map like Train. Yeah. That can really mess you up. Or in a situation like that on Catwalk, where it completely blocks off Shoxy's vision.
I didn't even think about that, but I'd definitely be in favor of once you have the competitive config on, then I definitely say it'd be a smart idea to just instantly remove ragdolls when they die.
Yeah, they just evaporate. That would be the go-to move, and it was that way in Source. So I'm hoping to see it in Go at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
But we need the kill cams, guys.
Well, that can happen anyway, I think. Good shot. That's through the smoke as well. It's an anti-eco round from Hellraisers, but still, it's a healthy sign to see them picking up the round without losing anybody. That's going to give their economy a bit of a boost, as you guys already know, and it's 11-11. That game is tied again in the 23rd round. If you are just joining us, then welcome to the show, everybody. This is only the first map, second half, but first map in this best of 3, so there's a lot of Counter-Strike to come, and we have a whole game after this one as well between Na'Vi and the winner of this one. So, let's get it on and see if Hellraisers can actually come back from a 9-0 deficit. I mean, they already have a great comeback on their hands here, making it 11-11, but if they can win this map, I think that's going to be huge for them.
That's going to be a big statement, and like restoring confidence as well, right? They have to prove to themselves at this point, like, okay, we can actually beat them on Dust 2. That 16-0 is a fluke. Like, right now, I think getting so many rounds already and really pushing Epsilon back on their heels is going a long ways towards making Hellraisers just a little bit more likely to pick up this map. FXJO, did he tag Doja there? It looked like he caught him through the box.
A little bit, and now they're pushing very aggressively. They really don't want to give him time to set up anywhere else. He's going to miss that next shot as well. He's got backup from behind, so FXJO can focus on just opening, but they're actually going to go for a retake type play. They sort of give up the A-bomb site here. Bomb still not down. Kiyoshima fighting it out, but Doja, Angel, and then Angel again. Fantastic double kill coming in, and now I sort of want FXJO and SF to just give up on this.
I love it, though. Look at Hellraisers. They're like, okay, great. We've killed 3 guys. Everybody rotating in from B. They're gone. We're just going to send the bomb over to the B site. No problem. Get the plant and not have to worry about them. Kucher sets up to catch FXJO rotating out. That's going to be big punish there. Epsilon already down their opera, so they can't even hope to save that. And now, Kucher, does he find SF? And there you go.
Alright, so you're absolutely right. That was a very cool decision, because they could have planted at A and just defended it. They would have probably run the round anyway, but not even just rotating over, but as you said at the end there, just leaving some people at long to pick off anyone else. I think that was very, very smart play from Hellraisers.
Yeah, like boxing in the Epsilon members as well. Basically just securing that Epsilon. There's no way Epsilon is getting out of that round with anything left.
Yeah, I like it. Adrian goes down, so not the best start here. FXJO in the corner, going to pick off one as well. Picks up an AK and goes for the battle once again. He's got to be careful. Actually pulls up the C7, and then the AK once more takes down another player. So very, very good, and this is important. Epsilon they are in an eco, and now they're in a 5-on-2. Markolov and Kucher, if they can win this round back, that might be just what seals Epsilon's fate here on Dust 2.
I think the issue is that they have no control over the bomb, and if you look at Shoxy, he's kind of just lurking about.
Kiyoshima gets caught. Now Shoxy's trying to peek around that corner. Nothing there for him, though. It's going to be the flank coming in. Markolov's just spraying, and he's going to get the kill in the end. Shoxy is gone from Lower Dark, and now that's opened up the way here for Hellraisers. They can decide to take the bomb pretty much wherever they please.
And a little bit of a shame that Shoxy decided to repeat, because he'd already done so much damage that, you know, it was basically a 1-on-4. Now it's a 2-on-3. Still very winnable here for Epsilon. They have the 2 rifles, and one of them is in a really good position, but this can go Hellraiser's way, especially if Epsilon keep peeking like they are. Gonna do it once more here. Kucher being shot down a little bit, but not as much as they would like. And they still got Markolov down on long, coming up with the AK, slowly but surely. So they gotta be careful. There's Markolov in play, takes the 1. GMX goes down, and now it's FXJO. He's already got the 2 kills. He's gonna have to get a lot more. He gets the bomb down. A huge play. Now 10 seconds left here. Markolov gonna have to run for it. That grenade is absolutely gold. He hasn't got the bomb. He's got it now, and he's gonna have to go for the plant straight away.
There's no time, but I don't think FX can get there fast enough to stop this. Markolov now in a great position. Just needs to stay alive behind the boxes, but he just plays the bomb at this point. They're both so very low on HP. FX is convinced Markolov is going to come hunting for him, but Markolov wrapping up into Goose, just making sure that FX, no, it's the other way around, buddy. You have to come to me.
Yeah, Markolov in a really good position. He's aiming the wrong way, but I don't think it'll matter. He's going to be jumping up, and Markolov will get that quad kill. And Epsilon, they throw away a round that they almost certainly should have won. For a number of stages, considering the clock, they made some big mistakes that round after almost winning it in an eco. So that must be very upsetting, and they're going to try and fight back with a double up setup.
Double up all the way. And that's the second time around where Hellraisers pretty much have gotten lucky. Obviously, you know, it's well done by the remaining members, but they get careless and they lose a lot of members early on in the round. And I think if Epsilon had played both of those eco rounds a tiny bit more patient, then they would have been able to actually, like, they would have been ahead by now, by quite some margin.
Yep, I definitely agree. So, but that's what it comes down to a little bit. I mean, it's also just experience. I think playing in on Hellraiser's side, doing a very fine job. But it is kind of disappointing to watch, especially that last round, that 2-on-4 situation.
No.
Even without any armor or anything, they should have been able to do it.
What it comes down to is that FX swaps out an AK for a CZ75. That's how good that pistol is.
This time it is a good pick-off. One of the AWPs working out for FXJO. Seems to have been a really good addition to this Epsilon team. May have been just what they needed, but now they need him to step it up even more because they're 2 rounds behind and Hellraisers are in the middle of a pretty good comeback. GMX going to pick off Doja jumping down and FXJO. Now it's time for him to earn his keep. He's got the AWP, missing a shot here, needs the next one and he'll get it before he goes down. Very important. And SF down on long. Just has to stay alive. He's going to challenge, and another time when there was no reason for him to do that. If he had just stayed alive on long, they would have been in a very good position to retake this. Now, actually, Hellraisers have a good chance of winning this round.
Yeah, this is brutal. It's turning into a fist fight here, lads, and I think Hellraisers, they've got a little bit more weight on their side, a little bit more punch. Shoxy goes for an AWP shot and somehow misses it. That was a clear shot at the man in Goose, but that sets it up for Kyoshima on the flank, who picks up one. He's still looking for the man on site, and he gets the headshot on Markelov. This time around, Epsilon, Shoxy, and Kyoshima split the work and get the job done.
I hope someone's going to go back and do a slow demo view of how Kucha missed that first shot, because that looked dead on.
Did you see Shoxy's shot onto Kucha?
Shoxy looked dead on as well.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, so there was, I don't know what's happening then. That was really strange. Both should have probably picked up.
They shot the bullets. The bullets collided. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That is the only explanation.
It's the only logical explanation.
Clearly, you can shoot nades in this game. You can't shoot bullets.
Markelov has a good bank and Kucha has enough money to buy, but the rest of Hellraisers really don't, so it is a little bit tricky. I think Hellraisers might force it up anyway if they lose this upcoming round, but it gets really close now for both teams. Neither has a big bank, and if they start losing rounds, it could make the big difference. 13-12, we could even be seeing overtime here, which wouldn't be the first time here at the Caseking of the Hill tournament.
No, and that would be a fantastic way to start the evening as well. But for now, it does seem like Hellraisers are quite spread out. Not so much towards B, much more in the mid area and gathering up outside of long. So it really does make you think like they want to be aiming for this A site. They may be looking for a long take, but FX is waiting with the AWP and he does not miss the shot this time. Picks off Adrian to start.
Yeah, now SF going really aggressive here. Markelov gets caught with a grenade in hand and actually almost gets picked off. Now pistol for SF, and he's going to fall back and play it safe, which is what I want Epsilon to do a little bit more. I think they've been taking too many fights where they don't need to. GMX has already done enough damage here as well. They're in a 5-on-3. All they have to do is relax, and they'll be just fine. FXJO actually helping out SF then, and they basically have this round.
It should be on lockdown at this point. Angel is way too low. Anything can get rid of him at this point. It's going to be Doja, last man alive, and FX will pick up the last frag. That's what, 3 for him this round with that AWP, bringing Epsilon back to 13-13.
Nice. Yeah, go on.
Tab out. Sorry. What's going on?
I said I thought they were going to be able to force up this time, and they actually do. So I'm not surprised. I think a lot of other teams maybe wouldn't have. But because it's Hellraisers, they are big fans of buying a lot. So really, that's what it comes down to here. And FXJO, aggressive push. This is the second time in an official game we've seen FXJO play. And I think he's really impressing people. He's got 26, 6, and 14. He's top fragging on his team by quite some distance. On the other team, it's Markelov with 28 kills. So this is a real battle on our hands here. And it's only the first map.
That's a beauty. It's a thing of beauty right now. It's everything we could have hoped for to start off this best of 3. There's no doubt about it. And FX, I mean, this is a statement. This is him saying, yes, I deserve to be in the super top. I am definitely a part of this team at this point. I'm not going anywhere. Definitely showing that he's got the stones to hang with the best offers in the world.
Oh, that flashbang in the middle. GMX going to be rushing through, and he takes a quick kill. Not going to get the second one, but that was still really cool underhand throw, and it caught Hellraisers off guard. Right now, they're in a 4-on-2, and Epsilon, they might be about to crush the great comeback that Hellraisers have been embarking on, because they're rushing into the B bomb site. Kiyoshima's here, Shoxy's here in the back, and they even see them coming. Flashes rain in, and Doja with a really good pick off here, but I'm not sure it's enough.
No, Doja doing what he needs to do, get that entry, but then there's a man waiting right around the corner. Doja, SF is going to find Doja in the end. Adrian getting blitzed down to 5 HP. It's a 1-on-2, and FXJO. The period at the end of the phrase, I don't know, saying that this site is closed, sir. Please get out.
Are you surprised, Ven? I want to hear. Are you surprised by the way FXJO that he's playing this well? Because you said in the source scene he was sort of hovering in some good teams, but never really at the super top. So
I'm not surprised. Anytime a French player gets brought into a team like this, I just automatically assume that they're going to be like the next big thing, because that's how it worked in Source. That's kind of just how it was. Like, oh, a new French player. Like when they brought in MBK in very games, everyone was like, oh, MBK, haven't really heard of them. And then you're like, oh, MBK, one of the best players in the world.
all right, well, I mean, the French scene has always been really strong. Even just in Global Offensive, we've seen how good the French are, sort of rivaling the Swedes almost, it seems. So this is definitely an interesting development, and they are actually looking to take the map point here. Adrian alone, and the next round is going to be everything for Hellraisers. Great jump down, and he's going to go. Oh, he gets oh, that is a great way to end the round. Shoxy, not even a little bit happy. 15-13, but that knife kill, I think that was worth it.
Hashtag worth.
Very, very. That was sick. That's a good statement. That's going to give them some real bonus money. But look at what Hellraisers are doing right now. They've got a double op setup going for them. This is really interesting. Kucher and Doja with an AWP right now.
Yeah, and I think this is a situational op from Doja. He spawned close to long. He's going to go for it and maybe overextending himself a little bit. He does survive, but he takes a lot of damage. Kucher goes down, and not the start they were looking for with this double op setup.
At all, but it's really impressive how Epsilon have really recovered their composure here. Shoxy's going to find Angel through the smoke at mid. They're trying to make their way out here, and there's Doja putting that AWP to work. Not situational. He's just like, okay, I'm going with it. I've got the sniper rifle. I'm going to make it count. But he still needs to get it. He gets another one as I say it.
Yeah, what is Doja doing? Maybe able to force the overtime here. I mean, they're going to need to win one more round, but at this rate, they might just be able to. Smoke goes in, flash as well. Kiyoshima pushing alone, which hasn't worked out so well for Epsilon so far today. They need to stick together. Good pick off from FXJO. That's the bomb dropped as well. Doja's going to make the peek, and FXJO, is he going to seal their fate right here? SF is going to spray through and get the headshot on Markelov. Oh my god. Maybe a little bit of luck at the end, but no luck to what FXJO has been up to. That's 30 kills in one game against Hellraisers. They don't even need Shoxy. He's at the bottom of the list right now, still with 20, but they just need FXJO. What a game.